I saw this particular tweet be reposted by Torrin Walker on his Twitter account, and shout out to him, by the way, where it was talking about Serena Williams and her husband, Alexis Ohanian. And all I could do was shake my head and laugh at the jokes that will come from this. So apparently, Alexis Ohanian opened up on Twitter in response to a tweet where it was someone who was talking about hygiene, and they were talking about washing and the methods that they use to wash their body. And then he retweeted it and was basically saying in so many words, and I'm sure in the article that I'm going to read, they might have the actual tweet there so you can get his own words, that his wife, Serena Williams, had to teach him about washcloths. Now, if you go back in history and you look at those paintings and those portraits, you saw images of black people or the Moors washing white people because they just laid in those caves or wherever it is that they inhabited and did not bathe. So they literally laid around in their own mess until the Moors came along and cleaned them and taught them how to be clean. Now, a couple years ago, when or around the time that Serena had her child, her daughter, she had opened up in a story where she was saying when she was pregnant that there was a smell that would come from her husband that really like messed with her, but she thought it was just side effects of her pregnancy. But now we fast forward to this, and it's like, okay, it wasn't the side effects from the pregnancy. Because I don't know many women, or I've come across any woman who says that a bad odor coming from her husband or her spouse or whoever the child's father is would cause her to not want to be around him because of his odor. So now we come back to this and it's coming full circle. It's just the fact that he wasn't using washcloths. And see, a lot of white people, when they bathe like they do in the commercials. You know how in the commercials, they take them and they wash with the soap and just the soap, and they don't put the soap on the rag or the cloth and then wash their body. That's how most of them wash in real life, if they even use soap. Like, this is legit history repeating itself and coming full circle over and over again. But it's crazy because you'll have people like a Serena Williams and others like her who will give a pass to Brad and all of his filthiness and lack of hygiene, and then have the nerve to say that black men ain't shit. But you're literally laying up with something that smells like shit and have no complaints about it, apparently. But let me go ahead and get into the article and see what they're talking about. Serena Williams' husband, Alexis Ohanian, has candidly opened up about the number one hygiene lesson he's learned from his wife. Recently, while scrolling through his Twitter timeline, the 37-year-old businessman seemingly found humor in a tweet about the hygiene habits of white people. A Twitter user questioned, when showering, are you a full body washer or an armpits and genital only type of person? Jokingly, Alexis responded to the initial tweet stating, I wasn't this bad, but my wife definitely taught me what a washcloth was. So you mean to tell me, in all 37 years of your life on this planet, unless this occurred before you turned 37, but see, him and Serena only been married for what? They haven't been married 10 years. They probably been married about, I would say, no longer than 5 years. So he and Serena got married when he was in his early 30s. And he, in all his time on this earth, up until the time he got with her and married her, or maybe even before they got married, he did not know what the usage of a washcloth was. Let that sink in. How were you bathing before you got with her is the question. Like I said, the jokes practically write themselves. Of course, with the swiftness of their keyboards, other Twitter users began to pry into his everyday washing practices, apparently in good spirits, despite being roasted. Alexis responded. One person questioned, Did every family member have their own bar of soap, or did y'all scrub the same one against y'all bodies? Alexis replied, LOL, no siblings, just me and that interpret magical self-cleaning bar of soap. Another, well, it didn't have to just be you, no siblings. It could have been you, your mother, your father. Another tweeted, marrying Serena Williams has changed your life for the better, to which Alexis simply replied, obviously. We're glad to know that Serena has been a good influence on her hubby since they tied the knot in 2017, Team Washcloth all the way. Of course, they would end it off like that, but let's be real here. No black man I know would ever not wash their body without a washcloth, or any black person for that matter. But since we on the topic of her choice in mates, we'll focus it on that. But that's crazy. So he, like I said, he was not using the washcloth at all in growing up washing his body. And he technically didn't even answer the post that this person had made, because the person said, when showering, are you a full body washer or an arm and pitched genitals only person? He just came out and said, I wasn't this bad, but my wife definitely taught me what a washcloth was. But what did you do? Did you wash the whole body, or did you just do pits and balls? Because he, like I said, technically he didn't respond to it the correct way. He just mentioned that he did not know what a washcloth was. Let's focus on that for a little bit. He didn't know what the purpose of a washcloth was. It's in the words. Wash. Cloth. To wash. Use a cloth to wash your body. You can even use it if you're washing. How did you wash your dishes? Or did you just put it into the dishwasher? Because you can use the washcloth to wash your dishes. So basically, he just wasn't a clean person. And now, like I said, going back to my statement early on in the video, now we know what that smell was. It wasn't nothing wrong with her senses because of her pregnancy. It's because he wasn't washing properly. He, in over 3 decades of his life, just discovered one of the most basic pieces of stitched items that you could ever have in your house in his 30s from his wife. It makes you wonder what else she's teaching him about the basic hygiene of the human body. But like I said, it also goes back even further in the history when black people had to show white people how to bathe. And here you have it in real time. How to be clean as an adult, not as a child, but as a grown adult. But as far as I'm concerned, this is her problem. This is her issue. This is the man she chose to marry, because apparently black men wasn't doing enough for her and wasn't stepping up. But this is what she decided to step to. And actually, she stepped down. Let's not get into the... No, I'm not even going to go there. I've already talked about that quite a bit. But hey, it's her life. That's how she chooses to live it. Now we can see another reason why Richard Williams got quote unquote sick that day, so he wouldn't have to go to his daughter's wedding, and people were trying to clown him and everything like that. I said, I know why he ain't go. He peeped game early on. He peeped it early on. Now, here's the other thing. This guy was the co-founder of Reddit, which means he has millions of dollars. He's a millionaire in his own right. This right here just shows you right here that even some millionaires, even if they're PC, sometimes aren't the cleanest. You would think he would present himself way better, especially since who he's married to at the same time. But it's amazing other stuff that apparently she allows him to get away with on the hygiene tip, that I'm sure she probably would not allow a black man to get away with. I'm going to end the video on that note. Y'all let me know what you think down in the comments, and I'll talk to you in the next one.